There were 5 years of what the heck is going on, and that was probably the hardest part for us. I saw my child. Who here has raised a teenager? Keep your hand up, but they changed a little when they reached adolescence. Okay, so you know that stage 1, as I call it, is 5 years of symptoms that became adolescent mood swings, that became unrealistic, that became symptomatic, that became psychosis, until we finally reached stage 2, which was diagnosis and treatment. And then stage 3 was the 8 years of recovery, which is kind of like a game of chutes and ladders. It's not a straight path. Although this morning I learned to think of a journey as a spiral, which I loved. You may feel like you're going backwards, but really you're ultimately going forward. So I've already learned so much at this conference. Resentment, recognition that your child actually does have an incurable illness of his brain that no motherly hugs can fix. And believe me, that brings grief. It's part of the stages that we have to go through. It brings grief, but I will tell you, it also brings relief. Do you know how much I thought it was my fault? What had I done wrong? Was I not enough of a mother/father to my son? Is that when we finally brought him to the hospital, of course they say, is he a harm to himself or anybody else? And I say, yes, he left the stove on. And that got him in. That got him in. Just the day after he said, I'm going home, and he tried to leave, and for the first time ever, they had to put him in restraints and sedate him with Haldol. And I came the next day and visited him, and I remember seeing my son asleep, and I could be his mommy again. And he just looked like his old self. It was such a horrible and wonderful moment at the same time. And I left him, and he actually did open his eyes, and he saw me, and he said, I love you, Mom. I said, thanks, I love you too. And went back to sleep, and it was a dream, it was a nice dream.